The worst redesigns of all time.
You know the quote, "Be the change you want to see in the world"? Well, I'm pretty sure when it was said, it meant everyone except the people who made the Bob the Builder reboot.
Can't say
About
I
a month
watched
ago,
that
I made the
personally.
mistake of asking people on Twitter what they thought the worst redesign of all time was, not realizing that it was home to the most passionate Bob the Builder fandom on the entire
Holy.
planet. Because I was spammed with an army of blue check marks copy-pasting the exact same
Whoa,
tweet about
whoa, whoa.
Velma and April
Okay,
O'Neil,
whoa.
as if they're allowed to
I will say, I'm gonna say something about that too. I will say, Disney has been kind of flopping with redesigns. I did like Lion King. I did like Mufasa. Snow White. This was an abomination of a movie. I'm not even gonna hold you. This movie was so bad. It was hilarious. It's one of those movies. It's so bad. It's funny. 1.5 rating, by the way. I've never heard a rating like that. Ever.
to have an opinion on anything when they literally pay for Twitter and the other half were porn bots. And I don't want to talk about any of that weak shit, okay? I'm talking about how you can see the exact moment the guy who was designing Mega Man got divorced. As I'm sure we all know, people historically really love change and have absolutely never freaked out and overreacted about things not looking exactly the same for the rest of time.
This show basically kicks Thundercats in the balls, and then it rips the balls off, and then it throws the balls on the ground after pissing on the balls.
Now, maybe I'm just used to
Surely, no, that can't be correct. Surely this isn't the Thundercat reboot. This looks fucking terrible. I'm not even gonna lie. This looks horrible.
Kicks Thundercats in the balls, and then it rips the balls off, and then it throws the balls on the ground after pissing on the balls.
Now, maybe I'm just used to it because, like, a lot of the stuff I grew up with wasn't as concerned with consistent character design as it was, like, harvesting all of my pocket money by selling toys.
So
like, you know, as a kid whose special interest was sinking thousands of my parents' savings into Bionicles, all
Oh
of
my
these
God.
guys went through, like, a new designer every year with
Yo, did they have a
gradually
show?
fluctuating
I
levels of
remember having those toys. Did they have a show? I don't remember them having a show, but I do
elbows.
remember
So,
collecting
you know,
them.
between being a Power Rangers fan and my absent father, I kind of just got used to never being attached to anything. And now you get to experience what being on a first date with me is like, because I'm going to talk about Ben 10 for 30 minutes. There was not a single miss in the OG show, okay? Every single alien wouldn't be safe to
Yeah,
use 'cause
I ain't
they're
gonna lie.
also fucking
Yeah.
raw. And then, like, even when they did the sequel series, Alien Force, and changed the entire...
Dang. My favorite Ben 10 alien gotta be Big Chill. Holy. Big Chill was so tough. Every time Big Chill came on screen, he was the GOAT. He was the GOAT. And then he has like the hot version too. Too cold with it. Too cold. And I'm not gonna lie, also not Diamond Head, but the purple one, the purple gem one. I'll pop something up on screen of him. He was so tough. I'm not gonna lie. He was so tough. I haven't watched Ben 10 in a long time though, I'm not gonna lie.
I think pretty much every redesign was a glow up as long as we don't talk about Ripjaws. But then when they made the fourth show Omniverse and changed the entire art style again, they suddenly decided that all of these fucking suck actually and went out of their way to redesign every single alien in the entire series and also retroactively canonize that all of them used to be butt-ass naked. Even the aliens that started out looking the same.
There you go,
would
right
show up
there.
with the
Oh, I was
most
just talking about
dog shit
you.
redesign of all time a few episodes later. Like they knew that they couldn't possibly top my goat Swampfire.
Oh my God.
So they dedicated an
Swampfire was
entire
so tough,
episode to
too.
turning him into complete shit. Like the ones that got the biggest upgrade were the ones that already looked like shit to begin with. Like when your alien starts out by looking like a red ball sack, the only place to go is up, really. But it wasn't the only show to redesign the whole cast in between seasons, like Jake Long, American Dragon, being another tragic victim of the Ozempic epidemic. You look at like the Mystery Incorporated Scooby-Doo gang compared to the series that came out 5 years later that looks like a Family Guy cutaway gag. And wait, before you pretend to go to the bathroom, let me just talk about Ninja Turtles, okay? TMNT's a series that's been around for a while, but hasn't had too many big changes, really. Like,
I love the original. I love the original cartoon. Hold on, let me go back. I love
Turtles, okay? TMNT's a
this
series
one.
that's been around for a while.
This one, I love this one. Like we had it on DVD. I would watch it all the time. Top 3 favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle like shows ever.
But hasn't had too many big changes, really. Like, they've had a lot of different versions, sure, but generally they keep
And then the one that was on
Nickelodeon,
this one right here, this one's up there too.
Do you sometimes
that
wish
one's up
that
there too,
April
for
was
sure,
a
for
turtle?
sure.
Oprah, I've been trying to talk her into an interspecies relationships for months now.
Chill, man.
Until Nickelodeon did Rise of the TMNT, where they made the turtles actually distinct from one another for the first time ever, which caused absolutely no issues with the most tolerant fan base of all time.
Everybody hates me!
No, little dude. Honest.
Hold on. I hate him.
Same thing happened with the new movie they did, where these guys were losing
I have
their
not.
goddamn mind.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched the new movie, and I don't want to watch it because it was so. I know it's a kids' cartoon, right? But even as a kid, when I was watching it, it wasn't one of those things where they were making like, oh, you just farted, and making all these like super just cringy jokes. Like it was more serious. So I don't know. And from the trailer, like it just wasn't for me at all.
Over the fact that they made April O'Neil not as hot as she was in the original show, because apparently the only thing that makes good character design to these people is how it is to jack off to it, which like don't even look that bad when you look at like the Michael Bay ones that look like Craig from Halo Infinite. Okay,
I love the movies, the live action movies for
and oh yeah, remember that
TMNT
time they
good.
tried to redesign the entire main Sonic cast by drowning them in toilet paper and anabolic
This wasn't bad. This show wasn't bad.
Tails. I love Amy. Sonic is also there too, but that Knuckles is not it, bro. And you know they might not look that
this
different
wasn't
to
bad.
any normal person watching, but you gotta understand, okay? These are Sonic fans we're talking about.
I want Sonic's arm to not be blue.
It's not like shitty redesigns and cartoons are a new thing anyway. Like there was this 80s show called Captain N about a dude who teams up with a bunch of NES characters, where in every episode I feel like I'm on the top page of Pornhub because all I'm seeing is so much ass.
Simon Belmont,
That was
Kid
a crazy
Icarus,
joke.
Mega Man? You guys aren't real.
Oh, yeah.
It's the exact same
That
thing
was
with
a
like
crazy
redesigned
joke.
corporate
Definitely added that
logos,
to my
right?
arsenal.
Where for some reason every couple decades, any company with a really successful and easily recognizable logo feels compelled to order this contractually mandated downgrade where they piss away literally millions of dollars to suck out all of the sauce until they look like a fucking accounting firm. Like look at Petco, bro. They killed the fucking dogs.
Oh,
Gap
wow.
unironically hired some guy to open Microsoft Paint and then chuck the default font in a blue square in the corner, which cost them $100 million and then didn't even last a week before they changed it back. Sometimes it's for the best.
Why
though.
would
Like,
you
you ever
do
see
that,
what the
though?
old
Yeah.
Ronald McDonald used to look like?
What the fuck is that?
And I'm not saying that simpler is bad every time, okay? Like, at least the aliens in the Ben 10 reboot are actually possible for 8-year-old kids to make fan art of, okay? Trying to work out how the fuck to draw Wildvine as a kid was definitely responsible for, like, half of my mental health issues. But as a 37-year-old balding depressed man, I'm old enough to have grown up exclusively with all of those, like, creepy-ass British claymation shows that nowadays all have the exact same Cocomelon-ass art style where they sacrificed all of their aura to
Yeah.
look like insurance mascots.
Yeah.
Like, the new Bob the Builder looks like the before and after of taking 5 years of continuous methamphetamine. But like, I don't know, maybe these all
See,
just
like,
look weird to me because
Bob
I'm
the Builder, like, bro, Bob the Builder,
taking 5.
like, I prefer this. He doesn't look like as real, but I prefer this style over this style. It doesn't like drawing and animation wise, it probably isn't even that different. Well, maybe, I don't know. I haven't watched the show, but here, just looking at the art, like, it looks the same. Their faces are just different. I think I'd prefer this one. Maybe that's because the one is the only one I've watched.
Years
but
of continuous methamphetamine. But like, I don't know, maybe these all just look weird to me because I'm a grown-ass man and these don't affect me in any way, you know? Maybe the Zoomers who grew up on these ones will think I'm a fucking idiot. Because I like the Skylanders Spyro more than the original, since that's the one I blew my entire life savings on as a kid. And this is the one that looks weird to me, even though his head looks like it's been repeatedly caved in with a shovel.
Yeah,
it's
he
still a lot
does
nicer
look,
than what Microsoft
like
did to
he
Conquer,
has
okay?
Down syndrome.
I'm always going to prefer the midlife crisis Spider-Man face to Temu Tom Holland because that's the one I sunk like 60 hours into. But then we look at movies, right, which are doing the complete opposite, where for some reason, whenever they adapt literally anything with an already beloved design, they have to turn it into the most overcomplicated, unrecognizable homunculus. Like, you know, the American Godzilla taking the most iconic movie monster of all time and turning it into a T-Rex with bad posture, or basically
I'm not
any
gonna lie.
superhero costume from
That Godzilla though was tough. That Godzilla, like, I don't claim him as my Godzilla, but that Godzilla was tough. Like, I can't even lie to you. I didn't really like how he was like underground and stuff, but the actual design of him is cool. I like all of Godzilla's like unique designs. I think they're all pretty cool.
90s. No, I bet you've been waiting for me to bring up the Sonic movie for like the 80th video in a row. But no, I'm going to be nice this time, okay? Because you know what I think is worse than that? Nothing. Fuck this shit. But easy
Yeah.
second place goes to the Power Rangers movie. That Megazord looks like fucking ass. Why?
Okay. Hold on. The suits were cool. They weren't accurate, but they were cool. This, I do agree, though. This was terrible. I don't like this. It doesn't even really look like a Megazord. Like, you know how in the Power Rangers, you can tell the Megazord's, like, different features. Like, oh, the Rex is up here. The Trike is down here. Looking at this, you can really only tell that the Pteranodon is on the back. Everything else it just looks like a big mech. Kind of like a Pacific Rim mech. I don't really like that. But, you know.
Would you take one of the most peak designs of all time?
Yeah, like, look at
turn it
this. This looks, even now, like, this is the more realistic one. This one looks like a toy. And I still think this one looks way cooler than this. Like, this looks like something from Lost in Space. Like, look at the middle part right here. This looks like something from Lost in Space. This though, this is peak right here. Also, by the way, best Power Ranger is Dino Thunder.
Dude, okay, this pasta tastes like shit because there's no goddamn sauce. The designers they get for the Disney live action remakes gotta have like the easiest job in the entire world because all they have to do is like look up a PNG of an animal and then call it Sebastian. Look at what they did to my boy Flounder. That is literally just a fish. This used to be a really big thing with superhero movies too, back when the Fox X-Men movies were terrified of primary colors and Galactus was a fart cloud. The first attempt at Deadpool showed everyone that removing literally every single defining aspect of a character is surprisingly a really bad idea. There were a lot of choices
that
made.
Deadpool, I'm not gonna lie, that Deadpool was scary. When I was younger and I watched that movie, like I was terrified of him. I didn't even realize he wasn't the accurate Deadpool. I just knew that was Deadpool and he was scary. And then I found out that that's not even what Deadpool is supposed to look like. And I didn't hate the movie, but... Well, the movie itself isn't good. Well, it's all right. It has a lot of flaws, though.
And not a single one of them was good. And I think maybe the only consistent thing about the last couple phases of the MCU was them competing to see which redesign can be the biggest drop in quality. MODOK went from this to a guy. The leader went from Green Megamind to a guy.
Why even try to bring... Because MODOK was in... not Quantum Mania. Yeah, I think this was called Quantum Mania with Ant-Man. Why even? I'm not the biggest comic book person, right? I love superheroes, but I'm not the biggest comic book person. Why bring MODOK of all people into the verse? Of course he's gonna be the hardest person to try to make. He's a fat giant head with tiny stubby legs floating. That's gonna look weird. Like cartoons can do certain stuff that like impersonating them in real life is just not going to be the same. It's like the live action Looney Tunes movies, how some of them were weird because if you got hit on the head with a frying pan and a giant word pops up, like it's going to look weird. And I feel like MODOK wasn't like, he wasn't the person they should have brought. I'm not going to lie.
His redesign from like maybe terrible. One of the sickest villain designs of all time to a guy. I get like you can't just go completely comic accurate with some of these or that shit's gonna look goofy as fuck. Like I think every Spider-Man movie's kind of crushed it with doing like a mix of their own thing while still being actually recognizable.
Spider-Man is peak.
Not you. Like even in Detective Pikachu where they basically kept everything exactly
Detective
the same.
Pikachu
still had
was
to make
good.
everything overly detailed to the point that it like killed my childhood dream of wanting to be a trainer by making me afraid of every Pokemon in the movie. Same shit with the Minecraft movie, okay? That first trailer dropped and gave me the greatest first impression when Steve was wearing this weird fucked up V-neck looking thing for some reason.
I haven't watched I don't really plan on
honestly,
watching
it wasn't that bad. Minecraft is like basically impossible to translate to live action without looking like a little cooked, so I think they honestly did like alright. They're all still kind of weird if you look at any of them for more than 2 seconds, but everything pretty much looks the same as the game, just with like the RTX filter turned on, which is actually still better than Sonic 06, where because they wanted people to take it seriously
I remember this game.
Time, they
I kind of like this game though.
Realistic, which basically amounted to
I kind of like this game. I remember playing this game. I think this was the first game I played after Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Unleashed was my... I played Sonic Unleashed, and then after that, I hadn't played a Sonic game for a long time. Unless I was on a Sega. But even then, like, it was all the old retro, like, versions. After Sonic Unleashed, I played Sonic 6, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think it was that bad.
Longer. And even with the game fighting for its life to mesh the aesthetics of like disturbingly realistic people with giant talking cartoon animals, somehow no one got it as bad as Eggman.
Look at the top of his head.
But redesigns don't even have to be that radical of a change to piss people off, okay? Even just changing the shoes on the sexy M&M mascot is enough to cause Tucker Carlson to have a mental breakdown on live TV.
The green M&M, you will notice, is no longer wearing sexy boots. Now she's wearing sensible sneakers. That's the goal. When you're totally turned off...
Dude, I want to jerk off!
To an M&M?
You really had to be there when the new Lola Bunny in Space Jam 2 dropped, okay? That shit was like 9/11
This is another movie I haven't watched.
I don't know about you guys, but I like change, okay? Unless it's to like global tariffs and my hairline. And so, you know, I would rather a completely dogshit redesign than everything just being exactly the same all the time, okay? The new How to Train Your Dragon and Stitch remakes are like borderline plagiarized, which is why they're both really boring and definitely gonna make like $1 billion. The Donkey Kong and the new Mario Kart is a massive improvement for how he's looked for the last...
He said that the new How to Train Your Dragon is gonna be is really boring because it's gonna be following the same story and it looks the same. You're out of your fucking mind. That's all I gotta say. I love your YouTube channel. I'm gonna do more of your videos, but you're out of your mind if you think that How to Train Your Dragon movie is not gonna be amazing.
last 5 console generations. Like, he looks like he's my friend now, and not like he's been holding back 25 years of unspoken knowledge about Cranky Kong's hard drive. One of the coolest things about The Legend of Zelda is that Link looks different in literally every game, and this man has never looked bad, except that one time. My favorite example was always going to be the Transformers movies, even though not a single one of these even remotely resembles the thing they're meant to be based on.
Oh, this is actually a great example. All the Transformer like cartoons, which I watched a lot of them. Oh my god, I can't remember the one, the main one I watched, but I watched it around the same time I was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Nickelodeon. And I remember when Transformers come on, and they had the same like kind of animation style. But yeah, no, all the Transformers literally don't like look like how they're supposed to look, like to the cartoon, but they still look cool. Like, I don't know, they still look really cool. Also, RIP Ironhide, that was my favorite Transformer, and they snuck my boy. I will never, ever understand why he had to get snuck. He didn't even get the faith of a one-on-one. RIP.
Caused a mental health crisis for comic book artists, unless we're talking about every single time they've tried to do Wheeljack, okay? Both the one from the 3rd movie and the one that looks like a walking murder movie.
When Wheeljack died, I wasn't
so
sad
ugly
at all.
that I'm celebrating when he gets domed, okay?
Yeah.
Something I used to love about Transformers was how much they would change shit every time they put out a new show. Like, it made all of these different parts of the franchise.
I don't remember the name of this one, but this Transformers was so tough. This one was so tough. I think I had literally all of these action figures. Actually, everyone in this frame, and then I had the Megatron too. This one was so tough.
Franchise feel like really distinct and unique. So naturally, they've like gone and made everything look exactly the same for like the last 10 years. Like the series they just put out a couple years ago, Earthspark, that no one watched, has like some of the sickest redesigns in the entire series for like 3 guys, and then the rest of the cast is still the exact same copy-pasted bullshit they've been putting out for the last 40 years. Okay, but in saying that, okay, so they did the show in the 90s called Beast Wars that doesn't have a single bad design, okay? Every single one of these are bangers, except for whatever Gooner they got to do Black Arachnia.
You're not gonna quit on me now, Bowser. Not when I've had my nails done and everything.
Boobies.
Then, when they did the sequel to it, Beast Machines, they decided to make the entire cast of the show look like spindly sleep paralysis demons. I dare you to try and name me a worse redesign than literally any of these, okay? You can't, because there isn't any. Don't you dare say Ash from Pokemon, really okay? Bad. At least he actually looks like a 10-year-old now. If you want to complain about anything in that show, it should be about him progressively starving Pikachu to death for 150 seasons. I mean, sometimes it's just about art style, man. Like, I'm always gonna think the classic Sonic designs are way better, except when they're in 3D, where they look like fucking dog shit. As a PSA for any 40-year-olds watching this, first of all, I don't know how you got here in second. Please, I believe that was She-Ra he just showed.
She-Ra, the Netflix adaptation of She-Ra was also really good. I think it got discontinued though, which is unfortunate because I really like that show. But they did good for that one too.
Because I think that all of the designs for the new She-Ra are like a million times better because they actually look like different characters now and not just the same person 15
like, no, I'm going to have to talk about it. Like, it was so good, bro. This has nothing to do with the show, but She-Ra was so good. Like, please, you probably won't see this, but to Netflix, please give us another season of She-Ra. It was amazing. Arcane is top 5, one of my top 5 favorite shows of all time.
Arcane was brave enough to ask the question, what if League of Legends designs were actually good? And Marvel Rival was just figured out that the secret to good character design is just to give everyone an ungodly amount of cake. Anyway, so yeah, that's about all I wanted to say. Thanks so much for watching.
For sure.
I'm getting a second date, right?
If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Check out the rest of my videos on the channel. I'm going to try to be as consistent as I possibly can. And I do stream on and off. I don't have a set schedule. It's in the works. Follow me. Trust me. And yeah, appreciate it.
I know you see that button right there. Go ahead and like and subscribe. And tune in for more.